On the Count of Three is a movie about two friends who struggle with depression and they decide that they're going to kill themselves at the end of the day, that they're going to have one last day together. Um, they had originally were going to do it together at the start of the day, but the white friend didn't want to do it. He was like, well, I just got out of psych ward. I've been in a psych ward for a week. That's not what I want my last day to be like. So they have this crazy day together where, they're going to do different shit like, um, confront their abusive dad and kill a pedophile who's played by Henry Winkler, who I think is just a fantastic actor. I've seen him in a handful of things, but I really loved him in the TV show Barry. I'll always think of him now because of how good he was in that. Even though I think the first time I was introduced to him as a kid would have been bedtime stories, and then as an adult, I saw him in Scream, where he doesn't have a huge role in that. He's the first one to die besides the opening scene. He doesn't do much in this movie, nor did I want to see much of him since his character's a pedophile. But I did find it funny. They put a very fake looking wig on him to make him look younger. And this movie just isn't great. They also have unnecessary slurs in this movie just thrown in there. Like there's this character Donnie who's in two scenes who's apparently like a friend they've known for a long time. And he calls them the F slur twice. And he says it's okay because he means it in a loving way. And then the white guy, the main character in the movie, one of the two main characters, he uses the N word, hard R, near the end of the movie. And he later defends himself like 2 minutes later, saying that it's hard to know what to say when you're talking about racial issues. Not really. It's not hard to talk about racial issues and not say the N word, man. I think the movie's trying to make it an excuse for him. Twice, actually, with that and the fact that he's drunk. He ends up killing himself to give his friend less prison time and whatever. He also has a bully that's introduced in one scene that tells him exactly where he's going to go. He's going to go to the lake with his wife and kid. And his bully was a piece of shit. And you're just waiting for revenge. His bully apparently ran him over back in high school with his truck. And he had to spend a year in physical therapy to learn to walk again. And the kid used to make fun of him because of the way he walked after he got ran over. And his wife is just laughing along with him. So, later in the movie, as expected, he says he's got to make a quick trip real quick. And I knew exactly where he was going. He's going to go get revenge on the bully. But he doesn't, because he sees the kid. He already knew he had a kid. He brought the kid into the restaurant. I really don't understand why he went and then just changed his mind because of the kid. He already knew he had a kid. And I don't know why they introduced the bully character just to not do anything with him. He just ends up being pointless. They do kill the pedophile. And they beat up the dad, who's played by the guy that's in Larry David's show, which is very crazy for him to play an abusive guy. The abusive dad doesn't die, though. It's not great. I didn't really care for it. I've been wanting to see this movie for a while. I've heard it's gut-wrenching and a really good movie. I had heard the same thing about Lady Bird, and I ended up not liking either of those movies.